A chilling new development has just rocked Britain's national security landscape, and it's one that exposes both the scale of the terror threat and the terrifying vulnerabilities in our asylum system. Let's break down the story, but first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. This week, it was revealed that one of the Iranian men arrested over a suspected plot to attack the Israeli embassy in London was living in taxpayer-funded asylum accommodation, right here in the UK. Yes, you heard that correctly. According to multiple sources, the suspect was an asylum seeker, reportedly living rent-free in a Rochdale property run by Serco on behalf of the Home Office. That address, part of Britain's asylum housing system, is now at the centre of a major counter-terror investigation, after special forces, armed police and counter-terror officers carried out coordinated raids across 5 cities last weekend. Let's break down exactly what we know. The man in question, along with 4 other Iranian nationals, was arrested during raids in West London, Swindon, Manchester, Rochdale and Stockport on May 3rd. The suspects are all aged between 24 and 46. Dramatic footage surfaced online showing one of them, reportedly the Rochdale resident, being dragged out of the property, semi-naked, by heavily armed special forces personnel. It's the kind of footage that feels more like something out of a war zone than a quiet northern town. But this is no exaggeration. Britain is now officially on alert. 4 of the 5 suspects remain in custody after the Met Police secured extended detention warrants. The 5th, a 24-year-old, has been released on conditional bail while investigations continue. What's even more disturbing, one of the suspects is believed to have direct ties to the Iranian regime. Police and intelligence services are now combing through how the others arrived in the UK, though sources suggest at least one came via illegal channel crossings, arriving by small boat before claiming asylum. And that's where this story moves from a serious police operation to a national scandal. Reports indicate the Rochdale property has been used to house asylum seekers for months. Former residents say the house typically holds 4 individuals who share communal kitchen and bathroom spaces, each with their own bedroom. Neighbors said the suspect rarely spoke, kept to himself, and had been there more than 6 months. He never paid rent, never paid bills. Serco, on contract with the Home Office, covered everything. In other words, British taxpayers were unknowingly footing the bill for a man now accused of plotting a state-linked terror attack on British soil. And that's not paranoia. According to the UK government itself, this is part of a much bigger pattern. Since 2022, the Foreign Office has confirmed over 20 Iran-backed plots to kidnap or assassinate British nationals in the UK. This is not a one-off. These are coordinated state-directed threats happening inside our borders. Security Minister Dan Jarvis did not mince words. He described the operation as some of the largest counter-state and counter-terrorism actions we have seen in recent times. Anthony Glees, a terrorism expert at Buckingham University, went further, sounding the alarm on the illegal boat route from Calais. He warned, "The Calais boat route self-evidently presents a clear and present danger to national security. And now we have proof. This isn't just about uncontrolled migration anymore. It's about foreign regimes using the UK asylum system as a backdoor, infiltrating our communities and plotting attacks from inside government-funded housing." Let that sink in. The alleged target of this latest plot: the Israeli embassy in Kensington, West London, an ultra-secure building protected by high walls, surveillance systems, and 24/7 armed guards. It's surrounded by fortifications for exactly this reason. And if the attack had succeeded, the consequences would have been unthinkable, not just for Britain's relationship with Israel, but for national cohesion, safety, and international standing. The Iranian regime has, of course, denied all involvement. Foreign Minister Sayed Abbas Araghchi stated, "Iran in no uncertain terms categorically rejects any involvement in such actions." But the pattern speaks for itself. When you have 20+ plots linked to one foreign state in just 2 years, it becomes harder and harder to dismiss these events as coincidences or isolated incidents. The Home Office has been reached out to for comment. As of now, they haven't responded. But the silence is deafening. This should be a wake-up call for everyone in government, because if foreign-backed terrorists are using Britain's own asylum system, taxpayer-funded housing, and open-door policies to plan attacks on UK soil, then the question isn't just how they got in, it's how many more are already here. In other news, in the space of just 2 days this week, 5 polls, all by different pollsters, placed Reform UK on top. Data from More in Common, YouGov, Find Out Now, Techne UK, and BMG Research has revealed that growing numbers of Britons would vote for Nigel Farage's party if a general election were held tomorrow. In order, Reform polled at 27, 29, 33, 28 and 32%, just days after its surge to local election and by-election success across the land on May 1st. Of that quintet of polls, the 33% figure by Find Out Now has raised eyebrows across the political spectrum. It also ranked Labour at 20%, the Tories on 16%, the Lib Dems on 15%, and the Greens on 11%. Analysis by Election Maps UK has found that if the 5 parties received 100% of the vote, the result would be a hung parliament such a vote share at a general election. It could trigger a major reform surge, one which could dismantle Britain's historically stable two-party rule by a staggering degree. Spread out across the country, Farage's party would take back 365 seats, an 80-seat majority. Labour would be reduced from its 411 MPs, returned in 2024, to just 97. The Tories would be relegated from His Majesty's loyal opposition to become Britain's 5th largest party. Kemi Badenoch's party, on 23 seats, would be overtaken by both the Lib Dems and SNP, on 83 and 40 seats respectively, while both the Greens and Plaid Cymru would increase their head count in the Commons. Find Out Now said the data can be largely explained by a large drop in Conservative support among over 65s. Reform were now the largest party in that age group for the first time, it added, while 62% of previous non-voters would also switch to Reform. The party's potential 40-seat majority, labelled walloping by Chairman Zia Yusuf, would see Farage take the keys to number 10 and open the door to, if the party follows through on its manifesto commitments, sweeping changes to Britain's political landscape. But in a call for cool heads, polling guru Sir John Curtis told the media that Britain may be already experiencing peak reform. He explained, "Reform is appealing to voters who believe in Brexit, are concerned about immigration, and tend to be on the conservative side of the culture wars arguments. In other words, older male voters who are less educated," he said, claiming that there's a limit to how much reform can tap into this base. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.